Right, you find me here, coiled up with Dr. Gizmo again. So, I did just make this realisation. I think I might have made it last night. But I also watched last night's video back, and it sort of almost contradicts what I was kind of thinking. Actually, is what I'm going to take, some of the things I'm going to take from this. But I said, there's been no sort of atmosphere or warnings or anything. But then I did say that I was like escaping and I was out from here a lot. So what I'm going to say is, rather than that be me being paranoid and whatever, I'm going to say that was my psychic intuition. Because it's in my list of symptoms. And I have a grandiose attitude to my own abilities, or a real one, because they're your thoughts create your reality. Well, in a very literal way, this is what I'm doing. I do get really bitter about that. I've done so much law of attraction stuff and never had anything. And I just don't get how, what you're saying, that all of this shit, I have not written this down every morning or written it down 55 times and gone, thank you, universe, for yet another disaster. Yeah, I'm told that all this shit happens just because of my attitude towards myself that I can just change by saying myself I'm a better person. Well, then why do you need to do all that shit to get the good stuff then? If it just happens automatically, why does it happen automatically or subconsciously? That's not correct. That is not science. That is not a translation of energy. That is not what that is. That can't be. It works. If it works in connection with your thoughts, then why do you need to do all that shit? But then it works for other people, and I just think, well, then we're all on our own journey, mate, and you're a very lucky fucker, and all of that. And I'd rather you just enjoyed your luckiness and were nice about it, rather than going around telling everyone else what they're doing wrong, because you suddenly reckon you know. You suddenly reckon you know why they can't attract things and all that sort of shit, because of what you're telling them is wrong with them and what they need to do to release it. And like, excuse me? Do you ever stop and take a look at your fucking self? What the fuck are you doing? We're all on our own journey. That's why I get so fucking when people start basically forcing that shit on me. I'm like, mate, do you not think I've explored all of this and come at it from so many fucking angles? And you just do this fucking. I don't just do that because I've done just that. I was at that stage fucking 15 years ago. So it's there is that element of reality creator and fucking reality as well. And I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. There's a side of me that would be, because it's like basically it's me. But do you know what I'm gonna say? There's no animosity. There's no animosity. I'm still gonna be friends with her afterwards. I'm just gonna assume, probably correctly, that it's the collection of everything. I mean, I sing a lot, play my guitar, I crash around quite a bit. I'm very chit chattery. I was thinking about the guy I used to look after, and you would hear him upstairs me. He would just be going like, "Hang fucking bollocks, hang fucking bollocks, 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 bollocks," and just laughing when he did that for ages. I'm not that far behind him. I'm not that far behind him. I really am not, when I'm singing stupid songs. And I know I was getting towards that stage even when I lived at the flat, where the windows would be open. I'd notice how much I was just letting shit out. I just didn't fucking care. I don't fucking care. And then I would have an imaginary argument with whoever's out there telling me to fucking shut up. I'm doing whatever I'm fucking doing. You can fuck off. I started shouting at them. Not at them out the window, but either in my head or whatever I was doing. Just didn't give a fuck. I've not been that bad here, but I have had a few like angry outbursts a couple of times. You know what I mean? And people are hearing that. There's an atmosphere to it. And you're in their house. There's all that sort of shit. There's just a build up. And I think it's kind of like, I have to be compassionate. She knows I kick off. She might have been really worried about telling me. But I've often said this one as well about myself. I'm proving all of my points here. That when big disasters happen, and when it's just happened and that's it, it's like, oh, okay. I know it's still really unpleasant. But I just deal with it. It's the smaller disasters that build up. And that's what I was talking to my favourite human about, actually, as well, with the whole calming me down thing. Because she did say that I was better than I thought I was. But then I had to comment that, yeah, I can do it, but that's often because she's helping me. And I've said that so many times before. It would be really different when people are around me. I don't know why. I wish I knew. I wish I could change that. I have tried. I really have. I really do. But that's why she's seeing this ability, because it is an ability that I do have. It's just that access to that ability is inaccessible. That's the thing, and that's the thing that doesn't come across to people. And another one is that I did say, and she did understand because she's brilliant. But I said, yes, you're right, I can do it. And then as soon as I've done it, it comes again. And then as soon as I've done it, it comes again. And then as soon as and then it's something else, and then it's something else. And there's always that reaction, and it's constant. And I'm spending so much time managing the stress around the anger that it causes more stress. And it's, when it's every day, when it's when you're doing anything, it just becomes incredibly frustrating and tedious and makes you angry. Everything makes you angry. And it's really hard to keep going, just breathe, it's okay, just breathe. Yeah, okay. And then and you'll sort of get to a semi kind of, right, okay, boom, like you do. But then it happens again. So it's like I've always said, or like I've been saying recently, it's not anything different to what you go through. It's the magnitude, it's the frequency, it's how much effort it takes to control it. It's just those few fine tweaks of not that much ability to control it anymore, and much more likely for it to happen. Just tweak those a little bit, and you end up hilarious. So a lot of the time I've been saying about this thing about not fitting in, and people will say that's that's all in your head. Well, it's not. It's still happening. Live on camera. But I'm going to try not to be butthurt about it. I know it's that button, and that I was tearful and really angry and upset last night. But again, I said that those horrible, desperate fucking things. It's like, yeah, that's normal. Feel them, let them happen. Stop being scared of shit like that. Stop fucking telling people not to say that. They've got no right to say that. Blah blah blah. They're just being whatever. No, they're just expressing how they feel at that point in time. And then it changes, like you always say, it changes. So then just let them. Just let them. And, I will say that to my favourite human. I know what she can be able to do because she's done it loads of times. It's just managed the little spike that there was. And all the rest is there. All the rest is there. It will come. Like my experience of dealing with people with EUPD. And I literally talked to my friend and I said, how can I help when it happens? When you're kicking off like that? And she just said, remember that time with that bouncer? And she'd said something and she got really focused on the fact that she'd been really, really rude or upsetting or whatever. And she said it was the repetition. It was the fact that you just kept going, mate, you haven't done anything wrong. But you haven't done anything wrong. Yeah, I know, but you haven't done anything wrong. And I just was smiling. She said that. She said you were just... I was balancing her. It worked for her personally. I spoke to her as a friend personally. We set that little, not boundary, but we set that little setup. There you go. It's easy. And she'll be totally cool with that. That's the sort of shit we need to do with mental health, rather than telling it is not there. And it's all the person's fault anyway. Why do people need to really hammer that point home? It's because they don't want anything fucking to do with it. Subconsciously, they don't want to be involved. That's what the fucking truth is. You fucking do it. I can't be bothered with you. That's what the root of a lot of it is. Because we do things by helping others, not by telling them to do it on their own. We show them. And we learn about each other, and we accept that we can't tell each other how to respond because it doesn't make sense to that person. You make them live in a different reality, in a sense. And, just can't we learn that some people respond to a kick up the bum and some people really fucking don't. And, you know, if someone is always baffling you and also, what the fuck's his problem now, like me? Maybe it's because there's just this massive mismatch in communication. Because there's huge ones for me. There was a couple I thought of last night, which I've forgotten about today. But, you know, onwards and upwards is the way I'm looking at it. I think things have just got to a degree where they've gone, even with all your boundaries, it's going to play the tape forward. It's going to just become unsustainable. So rather than let it get to that point, let's do something about it now. And I think that's what's happened. And that's fine, because it was supposed to be temporary anyway. So I can keep my butt hurt out of it. And go about my day. I can start packing. I can take all my tapestries off the walls, and there's there's an empty box up there which will take a lot of stuff. There's a couple of I could literally make this room look not that much different, but have 2 or 3 boxes of stuff packed up, um, and that will get my head into it as well because the walls will suddenly all look blank. It won't look like home anymore. Um, so yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll take all my tapestries down because they don't take up any fucking room anyway, where they fold up like that. So of course they take up some room, Mikey. 1111. Of course they take up some room because they exist. Did you know that more of them is nothing than is something? When you go inside a fucking atom, the bits that make it all up, the bits that are stuck together, the tiny little bits, they're like hollow with a thing in the middle and some swirly bits. That's fucking it. The rest is nothing. So if you squashed it down, there'd be that much atom, and that much nothing on every single atom that makes up everything. It's bonkers, isn't it? It's bonkers. That's the sort of things where science is cool. Science can be really cool. Um, but yeah, I do. I've got something of a purpose now. That was it. That was my other thing. That's what I've been nagging at me to not finish yet. On the whole psychic flex, I was gonna make a video, or I might have done because I have hammered them recently. But I was gonna mention in a video about that thing with motivation and how it needs to be real. Because when I look at the amount of work that I've done in the past um, on things in a short amount of time, and like people say, well, just set your deadline a week early. And think, duh, think I haven't tried that one. But I was literally thinking to myself, deadlines need to be real to spur me into motion. And I was thinking, and then this happens. So I'm just going to say it was all part of the psychic tingling that I was getting. I've premonitioned this. What I need to start doing is paying more attention to my premonitions, and rather than dismissing them as paranoia and escaping from them by riding down on the fucking beach on a bike. And I need to really fucking analyse this shit to become more magically attuned to the shit that I know I can fucking do. Is what I need to fucking do. There, I've just given myself up. I've given myself up, bum the kick. And I think I better leave it there because that was my finishing point. Thanks for watching.